Hey everyone, Coach Tommy here with Smashing Plastic Podcast. First and foremost, thank you so very much for tuning in to our podcast about the beloved world of pickleball and smashing that plastic ball that we all love. Secondly, most importantly, our dates of our podcast, we're going to goal and actively have these at least twice a month. First and the 15th is when you can expect and anticipate a new podcast coming out from Smashing Plastic. Today's guest is going to be Van Waring. Van Waring in Summerville is a name that most know and adore and love. He is a realtor, and I love the fact that he's got a community connection with pickleball, and it's a very fun story that he can talk about on himself, about how he is making new friends, new connections, and exercising while playing pickleball in Summerville, South Carolina. Lastly, if you have not already done so, please check the subscribe button and follow us along as we journey down the beloved world of Smashing Plastic Pickleball Podcast. Coach Tommy out. Good morning. Welcome to the pod, Smashing Plastic Podcast. We are going to have a fantastic podcast today. We have a special guest by the name of Van Waring. Van Waring, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fine, Tommy. How are you, bud?
Good, bud. I really appreciate you joining us. Basically, in summary, what we're going to do today is kind of like we do with our other podcasts. We're going to allow everybody to kind of hear your story of who you are, what do you do for a living, your occupation, and then most importantly, how in the world are you involved with smashing a plastic ball? All right, so go ahead, take it from there, V.
Who am I?
Who are you?
I am Van Waring.
Okay. V, what do you do for a living?
Man, I do real estate. I've been a realtor for 12 years here in Summerville, South Carolina.
Okay.
Service the Charleston area.
Not a bad place to be in real estate.
No, not at all.
Not a bad place
Not
to be in
at
real
all.
estate.
Not at all.
Okay, so now all these people that are across the interwebs want to know how in the world and why are you on a pickleball podcast? So tell us a little bit about your background with pickleball, how you got started with pickleball, and where pickleball is right now. So first and foremost, how and when did you first start pickleball?
I have no background in pickleball.
None.
No
tennis, no nothing.
Nothing.
Not a ping pong player, not a racquetball player.
I played a little ping pong in the bars, you know.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
I was decent. I held my own.
Okay.
I wasn't anything special to write home about, but that was about it. And
Okay.
I live shortly up the way from Royal Street
from a
Park.
public court?
Yeah.
From a public
from
court, that's new.
Public court. And, I'd ride by there throughout the day and I'd see 20 some odd people playing pickleball
In the middle of the day.
in the middle of the day. And I'm like, what am I doing working?
Yeah, that's a question that a lot of people have, I can assure you. Reiterate that. Like, how odd is that for you to where in the middle of the day in Summerville, South Carolina at 11 o'clock in the morning, you can pass by a public complex that has 5 courts and they're packed?
It's odd. I mean, at any given point in time from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., I could ride by that park.
And people are playing pickleball.
And people are playing pickleball.
So then my next question, because everybody has this, what makes you stop? Like, were you intimidated to stop to play? Do you know anything at that point before that black SUV that you have stops and says, hey, I'm gonna see what this is all about? Walk us through that.
Well, I kept going by there, and I had a friend that played there. And
Okay.
yeah, it's the intimidation factor of not ever playing that sport. You know, I have a
Is real.
It's real.
Okay.
See some people up there, but it's a mixed crowd.
Okay.
So that's another intimidating factor, as you well may know. But I finally got convinced to just come on.
Okay.
And riding by there, I was like, put the fear aside, and I stepped on the court, and they said, put your paddle in the hopper.
Okay.
And I put my paddle in the hopper, and from there on, it was
on.
It was love. Yeah.
So that, I guess, one of my biggest things of growing the game, and some of you know, some of you don't know, but I am a true legitimate USA ambassador of pickleball. I'm in the Southeast Regional. I'm one of the directors of our beloved USA Pickleball. And one of my responsibilities of that is to grow the game. And one of the hurdles that every USA ambassador and every pickleball player per se that is to grow the game is, how do you overcome that? How do you overcome that intimidation? They're nervous. They don't know the game. There's quirky rules, right? Like when you're first learning the game, there's quirky rules. I guess one of the things that you said, and I'll reiterate this, is you had a friend. Now, did your friend meet you there, or did you literally just bone stock, stop the truck, I'm going to go, I have nobody here right now?
I'm going to take it through the first time.
Okay, please do.
Man, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Because that's what changed it. So my buddy said, hey, meet me up here. We'll get you in a game. So he was already playing in the center court.
Okay.
And somebody said, "Hey, put your paddle up in the hopper, so that way you can get into the game." I didn't even know what a hopper was.
Okay,
It's little,
fair.
you know. And so I get there. It's 11:30 on a Monday morning,
Okay.
and the sun's shining. The radio's playing. All 4 courts are packed, and people are waiting. And I'm like, man, this is a community. Like, just God's smiling, the
Sure.
sun's shining, everybody's having a good time. I got a wooden paddle.
Right.
I get out there, pick up there, and somebody screams, "Hey, is that a wooden paddle?" I'm like, the music stops, the sun stops smiling. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm gonna try and whoop you with this wooden paddle, but I don't know anything about the game. So what overcomes that is the people.
Okay.
The people help me overcome that because it doesn't matter whether you're young, old, overweight, skinny, muscular, black, white, yellow, green. It's a community.
Right.
And it doesn't matter. It's totally different than any other sport I've ever played.
Okay.
Um, I was a novice. I had no idea about the rules, and the rules are pretty simple.
Right.
To pick up on. And my buddy just kind of walked me through the first game, and everybody's very receptive, and they help you. Nope, don't do that. Do this. Try this. Do that. Even to this day, 3 or 4 months later,
Now you're finding yourself to where your conversations are different, but the help is still there.
the help is still there.
So even like when you're on court with me, and I'm an advanced player, I'm an instructor. There will be times where you'll look at me and literally just ask a bona fide question like, "Hey, should I have done that?
Yeah.
Is that the right shot there?" Like, but it's way different than it was 3 months
Oh,
ago when
yeah.
you're first there with a wooden paddle.
Stay out of the kitchen. What's the kitchen?
Right.
Versus, hey,
Right.
you
I feel like at the end of the day, that's the biggest thing is I want to reiterate to everybody that's listening to this is making sure that you, one, if you are a pickler or a pickleball player, you've got to be that guy or that gal that can put yourself in your place when you're brand new. Because it's let's be realistic. Everybody wants to continue to play and you want to play at your level. But there's going to be, especially when you're in public courts, there's going to be times and probably more so now than ever, where there's people that have no idea what pickleball is. And it's your responsibility almost as a player of the game to just remember like what you're talking about right now on how quickly you can change somebody's perception and persona of what pickleball community is all about. Does that make sense?
it makes 100%, and that's one thing that I don't take lightly. I saw it when I came in. It's kind of like they passed the torch to me. It's
Sure.
So you got the hierarchy. You got your tournament rec, beginners, or whatever that I was explaining to you before. But if you got a beginner that comes on, I think it's just your duty. It's your responsibility
Right.
to kind of you might not like it,
Right.
but they did it for you, so you have to pay it forward.
Right.
And
I feel like at the end of the day, like one of the things that's really interesting that we can even go is that now, especially with like your established areas and the more established they get, it's very easy for you to know which court we'll call them the newbies, the rookies are playing on and where the courts are with advancement. I think that's one of the things that a lot of public places, even private places are doing now is where it's very easy to identify like that's a safe place, right? Now, as a teacher, one of the things that I do and that I have done at several facilities that I've worked at that I think is a really good way, and I want you guys to hear me on the mic when I say this, if you can sign up for a 101 class, I do not have a vested interest onto where you sign up for a 101 class at. I hope and pray that it is with me, but if it is not, I am telling you wherever you're at, there is a 101 class that is offered. Here's why those are great. Number one, you have a very safe arena. Even if it's $20 or $25 for you to do that, or $50, whatever the cost may be, it's worth it because now you're going to be in an environment that is privy to questions and learning, right? Like that's the whole reason why you're at a 101.
that's right.
Number two, and hear me when I tell you this, the most important part about this is you are now going to be interlinked for the remainder of your entire life on this planet with somebody that's the same level that you are. And I promise you're probably going to befriend them. And it's very easy for you now to have a buddy, whether it is a guy, a gal, old or young or whatever, that you can send a text message to and go play. And that immediately cuts the intimidation factor down when you show up to a court with somebody that's at the same level that you are. The 101 classes and the 102 classes are, for me, they're the secret sauce for any organization to grow, any club to grow, and even in all honesty, public facilities that don't have them, if they have community directors, they need them because it provides a very good, safe place that kills the intimidation immediately because now everybody knows, hey, this is the 101 class. There's 16 people here who have never picked up a, quote, racket. They call it a racket, you know what I mean? Because they don't know. So if you can, and you're entertaining this pickleball pickleball thing and you don't have the moxie of Uncle Van here to stop and just pick up a paddle and put it on the hopper, do a 101 class. I am telling you, it is a game changer for you. You'll come out feeling a lot more understanding of the game, which is always great. But then two, I promise you're going to make some friends. And we're probably going to stop right there and introduce you to our amazing sponsors for Smashing Plastic, because I feel like this is a great segue to talk about our next topic.
Hi, I'm Van Waring. I'm a realtor here in Summerville, South Carolina. I service the Charleston area, surrounding areas, West Ashley, Mount Pleasant, James Island, Johns Island, but I do most of my business here in Summerville, South Carolina. You can reach me at waringrv@gmail.com. My phone number is 843-926-8090, a member of Main Street Properties.
All right, guys, welcome back. Smashing Plastic Podcast with Van Waring, the realtor, your realtor for Summerville. Speaking into that, Van, I want you to walk us through the community aspect of pickleball. You hinted at it a little bit, but I want you to walk me through, let's go three prongs. One, the actual community in general, how you see pickleball is going to affect, and we'll keep it local to our Summerville community. What does that look like? Two, friendships. Like, are there legitimate, genuine friendships that you're making now because of this plastic yellow ball that we hit with a paddle that you weren't 5 months ago? And then lastly, networking. The networking aspect of pickleball, do you see it as an opportunity? So we'll start with, in all honesty, community. Where do you see it?
The community, as far as the community goes, Tommy, it's endless opportunities.
Okay.
You know, I see facilities coming in
Okay.
to Summerville that will be very beneficial for our community. Places to go, safe places for kids to go.
Right. Right.
I know my daughter plays.
Okay.
She's a teenager, late in her teens, but nonetheless, you know,
A teenager.
They're teenagers,
Right.
and it's just it's a great safety net of people that brings people out, and you know, it keeps it healthy, and it's just I think your coin phrase is sticky. It's a sticky sport.
Correct.
You know, you get addicted to it very easily. It's a life changer.
I think to add into that, and you're 100% correct. Last night I'm coaching a ball game. It's just a scrimmage. You know, my guys are still, as you know, we've got a very competitive baseball team. They're smoked. Like, we literally just got done playing a 7-inning ball game, and it's at Collins Park. And if anybody in Charleston knows Collins Park, I am not exaggerating to you. When we finished our ball game for 2 hours of playing baseball, all of my ball players put on tennis shoes and go play pickleball for 2 hours. They didn't get home last night till 10:30 because they were playing pickleball after a full-fledged baseball game. That's how sticky pickleball has become for
crazy.
my baseball team.
Yeah.
And they are all 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old ball players.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, now I don't have to worry about them. Are they somewhere they don't need to be? Are they doing something they shouldn't be doing? I don't have to worry about that. They are on a hard court hitting a plastic ball with their buddies, smiling and laughing, and they don't care about winning or losing.
That's right.
Which is insane.
Yeah, just having a good time.
So I love that. Number two, walk me through friendships and pickleball. How different is that today than it was 6 months ago? Speaking of the aspect of friendships and pickleball.
Let's see. I started probably late March.
Okay.
So here it is, mid-June.
Okay.
Very short time.
Yeah.
But from the day I was on that court, I met one of my closest friends I have now.
Wow.
So fast friendships are made there. You know, I've got people give you their numbers left and right. You have instant drilling partners, friendships. I've had dinners
Right.
with players. You know, we go to various different complexes,
Sure.
play together, talk on the phone at night. You know, go
All
to
because
lunches.
all because of it started with pickleball.
All because of pickleball. People that were nowhere near my life 3 months ago are now heavily involved.
And I'm going to speak into this, and this is just being 100% transparent. Van, how long have you known Tommy Welch's name? How long have you known my name?
I would say 10 years.
How many times have you conversed with me?
I'd say twice.
How many times have you conversed with me now?
Too many.
It is absolutely insane how you and I, because if most of you don't know, but I too am involved in real estate, not as a realtor, but in investment, and I'm a contractor for a living. So Van Waring's name and my name have interwoven for 10 years in a lot of different angles,
Absolutely.
right? A lot of different
Yeah.
geometric angles, and not in good ways, not in bad ways, just legitimately passing through, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now all of a sudden, within the last 90 days, we are conducting business together. We play pickleball together. We've dined together. And it's literally a friendship that I hope and pray that you would agree to that
Absolutely.
will be forever, because it all started with you rolling up on a pickleball court saying, Tommy Welch, what are you doing? What are you doing here?
Absolutely. Don't forget the resentment we had to talk about before.
It was
before-
it's real. Like,
it's real.
it's
I mean,
legitimately real. So I don't know how to add any more value into the fact of, I don't know what has happened, you know what I mean, in the world of the connectivity. I can't fix that, but I do know this: pickleball is a huge part of fixing it.
oh, 100%.
You would agree on that?
Absolutely.
And I feel like I owe it to the sport. I owe it to the people that are listening. I owe it to folks like you, to the very best I can, to where we create not just opportunities, but angles, facilities, locations, workshops, whatever we can, whether it's 7 years old or 97 years old, for people, places, things to interact with the beloved world of pickleball is a big reason why Smashing Plastic exists. And it's a big reason why I feel like, in all honesty, it may be bigger than what I can even imagine. And I'm just kind of speaking into that.
It's going to be huge.
Lastly, where are you with pickleball now? And do you think, network-wise, the opportunities for pickleball for a professional as yourself and realtor, do you feel like that is an opportunity that folks are missing out on?
100%.
Walk me through that. How does that look, and what do you envision with that?
Well, I mean, as far as the networking goes, I mean, like I said before, anytime from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., 9 p.m., whatever,
Right.
there's somebody always out there. And people in various professions are out there at any given time.
Right.
You know, you got bankers, you got construction workers, you got, lawyers,
Teachers, nurses,
teachers,
all of it.
all across the board that they're out there. So pickleball is a game where you can actually converse while you're playing, at the lower level.
Sure.
Once you get into the advanced level, then
Especially if you have gaps between games, but also it
exactly.
between you and I, and I used to be a professional golfer, and one of the things that we used to always tell each other is, when we're in the shop, is that you can play a foursome with somebody and know a lot more about somebody in a 4-hour round of golf than you ever know what they're telling you, just by simple scorecards, simple things like that, how they abide by the rules, how they don't. Between you and I am very similar in pickleball. Like, I don't want to use the word judgment, but I am a big believer as a coach that how you do anything is how you do everything.
That's right.
I preach that to my ball players. I preach that in my life. I fail at it miserably. But in all honesty, how you do anything is how you do everything. So if I'm going to hook you on a line call, in other words, I'm going to call a ball that's in, that's really out, or vice versa, ball that's out, I'm going to call in. It speaks a lot about the character. Now, there are mistakes happen, and so I'm going to get some message now like, oh my, I'm saying at the end of the day, you know who I'm talking about, to where the integrity is real. And it's a very good way for you when you're building your network. I have in my life the opportunity to where I do my very best to where I only want to work with integral people, just because I have found that it is the fastest way to not find yourself in a asylum. You know what I mean? It's to deal with people of high integrity. So I feel like pickleball is a really good way for both coaching, instruction, whether it be networking for your business. It's a really good way to play with people, to find a very good quick outlet of integrity people or not. And I have to attest that the majority of folks that I have encountered on a pickleball court are of the utmost integrity. You agree?
Man, I agree.
It's odd.
99% out is 100% in.
Yeah, I was talking with somebody yesterday that was getting a quote on pickleball court for a community, and one of their things I found that was interesting is, hey, I'm not nervous about us investing in this, and this is a small town, by the way. I'm not nervous about us investing this money for this community center, because I know the crowd that comes with pickleball are people I don't have to worry about.
Yeah, it's such good people, Tommy. I mean, it's I get texts all the time. Hey, you coming up?
From some of the highest caliber people that you know.
Absolutely. Just to speak the jargon, some 4 or 5s or,
Yeah.
Hey, where are you at? It's like,
yeah. It's definitely interesting. So I feel like in the networking aspect of whether you are a small business owner or a big business owner, or you're a banker or you're a realtor like Van, myself, I feel like you're missing out on opportunity if you are not interacting with that group, whether you're good, bad, or indifferent, or you're just going to start out, or you want to chase the tour. That's a moot point. If you are legitimately, which if you are in business somehow, some way, whatever that looks like, even as a teacher that is employed by, somebody else, you owe it to yourself to get on that court and meet some people. Because I don't know what that looks like for you, but I know in my personal life, I have met people that I will have a friendship with till the day that I'm not here because of pickleball.
And another thing, I mean, it gets you out your head. I mean, it's a life changer. It 100% is, man. I mean, you go out there and you play, you fall in love with a game that you never even knew existed.
Right.
For the most part. And the people there change your life.
For 15 minutes, you can literally focus on a ball and the buddy that's beside you and trying to beat the person across the net. I think Jennings, when he was on our first podcast, spoke a little bit into that, where it's almost, that word of escapism. I'm a big believer why that's so many people like Disney. I have nothing against Disney. I love Disney. I have teenagers and kids that we've done, a million times. There's a lot of things that they do, I think, that are just amazing to how the attractionness of you wanting to be there. It's because it takes you out of your day-to-day, right? It takes you out of the mundane or the conflict that you may be in, whatever that is, health-wise, financial-wise, whatever, relationship-wise. They have created something that allows you to, quote-unquote, escape, right?
Absolutely.
Pickleball, and in general, working out, things like that, I feel like can do that. But for some reason, pickleball, because I really do have a big belief in how many people are on a court at a given time, the energy that is there is really hard to compete and compare to anything else right now.
So like you, I played golf too.
Okay.
Right? So the foursome on a pickleball court is polar opposite of a foursome on a golf course.
100%.
I mean,
it's night and day.
It's night and day.
How many times, and this is being transparent, how many times have you lined yourself up with a foursome in golf, because I've done this as well, thinking that this is going to be an opportune time for you to talk business, right? To get yourself,
never works.
And it never happens. Because you get on the first tee and you slice one 427 feet into Martha's gosh darn kitchen, and you are pissed off now for the remainder of those 18 holes on the first shot that was on the tee box.
You can't even remember what you were going to talk about.
You don't have those dire. All you want to think about is getting with Coach Tommy to fix this slice, because this is embarrassing to you, right? Like, you just embarrass yourself in front of your banker. Whereas in pickleball, the first service comes to you and you smoke it into the net. Are you worried about the next shot?
No.
Not at all.
No.
It's why is that?
I think because it's just a simple mistake that's going to rectify itself, and you have another player that's going to hit the ball again anyway.
It is so interesting that I and it's not just me that believes it, but it really is. It's just unique. It's got a uniqueness to it that is very, very, very cool. And again, I hope and pray that if you haven't tried it, you will try it. I assure you that I can attest you're gonna make some friends and you're gonna have some fun. So again, I appreciate you, Van. Anything else, man? How do these guys find you? If I need a realtor in Summerville, please give us your handles. Give us some insights of where you are on the interwebs. If you've got a Instagram, anything that we can find you, what do we got to do?
You just look me up on Facebook, Main Street Properties. WaringRV@gmail.com. My phone number is 843-926-8090. Love to talk with you. I'm here to help.
Awesome. I really appreciate it, Van, and you have a great day. And guys, Smashing Plastic, we're going to stay tuned for Coach's Tip with Tommy. In this drill that you're watching here with Coach Tommy, we are actually doing a dink drill straight ahead. One of the things that is typical that I see a lot of with our students is they will do a paddle up, which allows the ball to pop up. And then, of course, it's an easy put away for the guy across from you. Let's make sure that we are keeping firm wrist, and we are absolutely 100% trying to keep that ball as close to the top of that net as we possibly can. And most importantly, we are not playing catch with the opponent across from us. We are trying to make them move and be uneasy receiving your dinks. Don't get into the play the catch game and then all of a sudden they put it away on you because you give them an easy shot to do so, or worse, you put it into the net or make an error. All right, do not play catch. Make them move with every single dink.